Hey, it's Cam for Techtainian, and today we have a review of the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc, hence the Arc. So this is a device from Sony Ericsson. It's basically their highest end Sony Android device. It runs Android 2.3 Gingerbread. But before we get into all the specs, we can just take a look around the device. So on the front we have 3 physical Android buttons: home, menu, and back. They are very nice. No search button, but that doesn't really bother me. If you want to access the search function, you can just click and hold the menu. At the top, we have, what's that, focus, an earpiece, proximity sensor, and a little indicator there. No front-facing camera. On this side of the device, we can see the 3.5mm headphone jack and the very thin design. On the other side, we can see the camera button, the volume up-down, another little indicator light, and also the USB jack, micro USB. It's a proprietary jack, but it takes micro USB cables. On the top, we have the small power button, which could be a little larger in my opinion, but gets the job done, and the HDMI out, which I will have another video going up on that. At the bottom, microphone, lanyard port, thing to pry off the back. Inside 1500 milliamp hour battery, SIM card tray, micro SD card slot, comes with a 16 gig card. Second microphone hole right there. Got the 8 megapixel camera, 720p video recording, Sony Ericsson logo, and now here's the screen. So what are my conclusions with the hardware on this device? It feels good in the hand, it's overall good hardware, but I do have a couple problems with it. When it is resting in your hand like this, the fact that it arcs in prevents your hand from having the best ergonomic grip. With most devices, they arc out, so your hand can kind of wrap around it. But with this device, it kind of arcs in and it's not quite as ergonomic. But you do have a pretty good hold if you're doing like this. And it is more ergonomic when you're in landscape because your fingers can kind of wrap around, and that is a very ergonomic position for landscape use. So the device's hardware overall, it feels solid in the hand. It's all plastic, but it does feel solid in the hand. Feels like it's been well built, good construction. Some metal would be nice, but it is also very light, only 117 grams, which is obviously a very nice feature. If we look at the screen, it's a 4.2 inch, 854 by 480 capacitive touchscreen. It is quite bright and quite nice looking. It is also a quite nice size. 4.2 inches is quite big. If we look at the back, we can see this gradient sort of paint job they've done. We can zoom in on that. It does look very unique to this device. And it does look very good, but it is a fingerprint magnet. As you can see, it collects lots of fingerprints, and that's not the end of the world, but just letting you know. So, the hardware of this device is good. Power button could be bigger. Device feels a little bit plasticky and cheap, but it is light, thin. But the ergonomics also suffer from some of the weird arcing. But if you're one of those people that really likes their phone to look good, kind of a fashion-conscious buyer, this device looks very nice and very unique compared to other devices, where most of them are just mimicking an iPhone 3G design with just lots of black plastic and curved back and chrome around the edge. This is very unique and very interesting. So this is the software portion of our review, so let's get right into it. This device is running Android 2.3 Gingerbread, as seen right here, with Sony Ericsson's Timescape interface / skin experience on top of it. And this whole thing is all part of Sony Ericsson's experience. We can see a drastically changed interface from stock Android. We have a 4 icon with the launcher button, dock on the bottom. We can move these out of the dock like this. They kind of jiggle. All the widgets sort of jiggle when you drop them down. We've got sorting here, very useful. I use it a lot. Recently installed, most used, alphabetical, and own order, which is a little button down there. You can click that button, and then you're able to sort your icon grid. yourself. I normally use recently installed, and they kind of do a nice animation to show they're being changed. We can also put this back here. Making folders is very easy. You can just drag an icon on top of another icon, bingo, create a new folder. You've got these different covers for your folders, 6 different color covers, a little social, games, that's entertainment, that's media. Oh, you can change it to this one, like that, and there you go. You got your 2 things, they kind of pop open. You can make these folders much larger, and then you're able to scroll them. They're very useful, and they are better than normal Android folders where you have to create the folder and then put the icons in. This one, you just drag it right on top, so that's a nice feature. So, what other great things are on this interface? It's got lots of these transparent widgets, which look quite nice. When you drag a widget to the edge, it kind of goes green at the edge to show you're going to move over, which is a nice little indication. You've got your 5 little indicators along the top, which change. You've got this timescape interface and widget. You can pop into this here. Wait for it to load. You're able to go right through like that. And that is pretty nice. Special timescape. You can also integrate your Twitter, Facebook. Everything can be integrated right into this little timescape interface, and you're able to switch quickly like that. So timescape, you can take it or leave it. You don't have to use it, but it is there. If we go over here, we've got a pretty cool music widget. If you click on it, start playing the song, but let's say you're halfway through the song. It shows little bubbles. I don't know if you can see that, but little bubbles are kind of flying up from where the song's been played, and that is pretty cool. It also has this kind of cool photo and video widget, which you can scroll through like this. That's quite a nice feature. Just very interactive and a pretty cool widget. You can also get a smaller version, which I will show you. Smaller version. It's called the Photos Videos Small. So this is the smaller one right here. We can put it in the middle. So overall, this customized experience is something you can take it or leave it. Personally, for me, it's okay. It's well executed. It works, but it's nothing I have to have. It's just not something I'm incredibly interested in, but it's there, and some people will definitely appreciate it. But a lot of people would just love a stock Android experience, and I definitely know where they're coming from. And most of the time, I'm in the same boat as them. But this interface does offer some pretty nice additions, and compared to some other interfaces, like Modal Blur, it is light years better, just way better. And it is quite smooth and quick. So what are my major overarching software thoughts on this device? It's fairly fast. You can open the web browser now. Well, actually, we'll just go right to Engadget. It's quite a fast device, but I would say it is not dual-core, and it's not quite to some of the speeds of some of the other new devices like the Galaxy S2 or Sensation. And obviously, a stock Android device will be much faster as well. But overall, it's a pretty fast device, pretty snappy, but I have had some really weird glitching and bugs. And this is really not something I like to see on a device when it has a skin and the manufacturer has bugs in the skin. Bugs in the skin. Have you ever seen the movie The Mummy? Anyways, there's just lots of bugs in it. Sometimes the device will completely just lock up and have to restart. Sometimes I'll be using the device and I'll actually put a little quick video in, and when you're clicking an icon fast and click the home button, the entire app gets imprinted as a background behind your home screen. It's really weird. There's some weird speed bugs where sometimes things lock up really fast. I've just had some odd bugs, and from an overarching Android perspective, the fact I still have to use a task killer to keep my device fast and smooth, and the fact they run all this crap in the background, like media server and setup guide, FM radio, I don't want that stuff always in the background. It's just irritating they have to run that. Gotta just cancel. And they start the media server again. There you go. Stupid. That's just not that's just irritating for me. And I think Android still has a lot of problems from that perspective. The web browser is pretty smooth. Not quite as smooth as I'd like. Definitely not up to iPhone quality. We can just zoom in a bit. Engadget is a pretty intensive site. It does do that auto formatting thing, but you can turn it off in the settings, which is something I definitely commend them for, because you cannot do that on HTC Sense devices. Auto fit page, you can turn that off. Landscape only. Where do we have the plugins? I've got plugins turned off because they just slow down your device a lot. But we can load a flash video if we'd like. Videos. Got these zoom in and out buttons in the bottom corner. You can see those right there. Overall, the device is pretty smooth in web browsing, but I think all Android devices are still just light years away from what the iPhone has achieved. But we can do a little bit of video streaming, flash. I would definitely say the playbook is smoother. So it is playing pretty smoothly.
Hey guys, Gadget here to demo AirPlay Gaming over the iPad 2 and Apple TV. Now, I installed iOS 5 beta on both the iPad.
Oh, it's not even going to let me go full screen until I go to Vidler. Anyways, it is a pretty smooth browser. Nothing super impressive, but it's basically what you get with all Android devices. Most of the other applications on here are just basic Android stuff. This version is a Rogers device, so it does come preloaded with all the crapware. We'll see what kind of crapware we've got on here. My account, ringbacks, ringtone shop, your music on demand. This postcard stupid crap. We got this Let's Golf game, mobile backup, MLG gaming. What other crapware? This track ID. I don't know if that's crapware, but it's kind of irritating to have on here. So there's not that much crapware, but God, these applications are horrible. They're just bad. I'm not even gonna get into Android crapware, but that's all we got. Your device may be different because this is a Rogers device if you're in a different part of the world. We can load up the camera here. Give you a bit of the camera interface. I will have more videos and photos going up in another video. You can just click on the screen at the bottom and you'll be able to see some other stuff I have, video and photo samples. So on this side, we've got all of our little options, so we can just pull that over, pull this over like this. Flash, self-timer, touch capture, we can just turn all these things off. You can replace them like that if you'd like. 8 megapixel, we can just change all this. We can drag over from this side to see all our photo thumbnails and video thumbnails. And we've also got a video and photo changer down at the bottom there. So it's a pretty good interface, nothing special. It takes quite a while to load up, which is kind of irritating, but that is the camera and video interface. So my software thoughts on this device are, it's fast, considering it's one single core. It's a fast device, it's smooth to use, it has some nice things. Oh, I forgot to show you this. When you zoom, when you pinch, you don't get the thumbnails, but you get all of your widgets. So I guess if you have a home screen that doesn't have any widgets, you won't be able to get there. But for example, we're on this one. Do that. Click on that Evernote widget. We're on that page. Do that. There. Do that. We're on that page. Back to that page. So that's a pretty nice feature. But my overarching is good software overall. Some really weird, annoying bugs in the skin that are just aggravating stuff when it doesn't go right. Just kind of irritating bugs in the skin. But overall, pretty smooth, well executed. You're going to have to like the design of this Android skin though, or you're really going to have a problem because it's all throughout the device. All applications have this very You know, like there's alarms. It's got that blue stuff, and you're gonna have to just like this sort of experience. There's calendar. It looks different. We can go to month. It's all blue and what you're gonna have to like this. But if you do like it, you're gonna enjoy this device. So the conclusions of this review are the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc is smooth, very well designed, unique looking, unique interface, nice camera, nice video capture, but pretty plasticky design, a lot of bugs in the skin, you don't like those. A skin that you may not even like. A lot of people I can see not really liking this. It's a very acquired taste, and there's a lot of problems with it. And in the world of Samsung Galaxy S2s, HTC Sensations, it really doesn't compete, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, it's a good device, that's for sure. But in a world of all those really super phones, I just don't think it's quite up to snuff to compete with those devices. But don't get me wrong, it's not a bad device. And it does have a very unique look, and if you're looking for a very unique device from a hardware perspective, then this may be the device for you. But if you're more of a junkie who doesn't really mind just a normal look with a more power inside, I would not recommend this device. So I give it a 7 out of 10, and my cons of this device are: and my pros of this device are: so that's been Camper Techtainian reviewing the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc.